Has there ever been a show that you stepped away from for so long, or even a movie for that matter, just any form of fiction or nonfiction, you step away from it and you come back and it just does something to you? This is something I don't even know how to explain it. It just creates this feeling of, yes, I'm back, but also, what are we in store for? I freaking loved the first season of ReZero, and I'm a big fan of that season. But when I came back to it after so many years in season 2, not even that, I have a video on that. It just felt like I was back. It just felt like I was back in ReZero, and I was looking forward to, getting more of ReZero because I like that stuff. And Attack on Titan, one of the greatest anime of all time, in my opinion, that I still to this day will tell you, if you're not caught up, go watch it. After so many years of being away from its first season and going into the second season, I felt like, cool, this is more Attack on Titan. But Promised Neverland did something in this first episode. I honestly don't know. Like, legitimately, I've been trying to recall. I don't think I have ever felt this way about the first episode of a second season of something. So I want to know, first off, if anything like that has happened to you before, and I'll get into a little bit more as to why I feel like that. But if it's the first time here, welcome to Westside Otaku, in which I like to occasionally geek out about anime with you. So if you want somebody to chat with about anime, consider subscribing. And thank you to the patrons that make this channel possible, even though I upload very rarely. And the thing to bring me back is, of course, Promised Neverland. And this week is stacked in terms of anime. It is just stacked, but Promised Neverland is the thing I was probably looking forward to most. Yes, ReZero is back. Yes, Laid Back Camp is back. But I wanted to see what Promised Neverland Season 2 would start us off with. After the way Season 1 ended, Season 1 of Promised Neverland, if you haven't watched it, it's spectacular. I legitimately have very few problems with that season. I rewatched it before this season to kind of get up to speed on things, just in case I might have forgotten some things, and I'm glad I did. But the first season, we're just on this farm. We're just on this farm, ranch, home, whatever you want to call it. It's just there. It's just this small piece of what is potentially a so much bigger world of so many more things to discover that we barely scratched the surface of. So the way season 1 ended just made me go, this has potential. This has potential for whatever comes next to be something we just had no idea. And that's how I felt. I went into this first episode of this second season, and literally in the first minute, the very first minute of this episode, it starts off just showing what these kids are having to deal with in this outside world. They just start off instantly getting chased by this giant monster. And the way it's presented, too, is so horrific. They just have darkness and just the sound of huffing and puffing and just introducing to us to each of our characters that we're going to get to know in this journey of survival. That's the neat part about this whole thing, is I could talk about the technical details of this episode. I thought the animation was spectacular. I thought the music was presented in such a great way of being there and being great when it needed to be. And then the moments when there shouldn't be any music, it adding to the tension, the suspense. And that's something season 1 did great too. And I love seeing that it's still here. I still feel like the tone and the direction and the work that Cloverworks did on the first season is greatly intact. It's greatly intact in this first episode of this new season. Because I still felt that tension, even when there was nothing going on, because you just see this group of kids in the middle of this, not just a huge forest, but a forest of so much crap that we're just like, what in the world are we doing here? There's little floating green creatures. The trees are way bigger than normal, and they have a tint of white to them. And there's certain plants and creatures that are different. It's like a completely different world than what we could expect. Could be does the world resemble our own or what? And yet it does. And there's just so much more. There's so much more mystery to discover, but that's the thing. This first episode, it makes me hyped and so damn in awe, because we're not seeing our characters go on some goal to become king of the pirates or a ninja or hero or whatever, or even to discover, not directly the mysteries of the world. They are just on a journey to survive. They are just trying to find a place of security and safety and to find allies to go back to their home and get the rest of their kids out. That's the goal of this show. It's not necessarily to, do something grandiose. It's just simply, we need to survive. We need to find people that can help us. And we need to find people that can help us go back to get the rest of our people. That's what this show's about. There's so much that they get to discover on the journey. This first episode just has me feeling like that. We get to see how the demons work. We get to see, their potential just like ways of tracking people and like a machete, they have a straight up military kind of a thing. And there's other demons potentially that might be helping humans or not. There's a sense of trust too. There's a sense of trust that do we trust these guys? And there's just a lot of things. I have a feeling maybe the children aren't even getting eaten. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. There's still the mystery there to solve. That's what I mean. This first episode, they didn't necessarily say the eaten thing, by the way. I'm just starting to speculate because I feel like I can't trust anything this world has given me because this show's first season has so much to thank for me feeling like this. Usually shows set up what our characters are going on in just the first 2 episodes. This show took an entire season to do that. They took an entire engaging season to introduce us to these characters, to introduce us why they have the potential that they do, and to introduce us to the potential circumstances that they're dealing with, but doing it one piece at a time. And that makes me excited for this season because it's probably just going to be another piece to a grandiose puzzle. That's going to be a great journey. I have not felt like this. I don't know. I don't even know. I think My Hero Academia. Was the last time I actually felt compelled to rewatch an episode or to speculate what's to come and how it's to come. I legitimately, I don't know. The full circle of this video is, has there ever been a show that you left and came back to, or even a show that just started for that matter, but specifically I would say one that you came back to that you're just like, wow, there's so much more to uncover here. And this is just a little snippet that makes you go, I need more. I need to see more. That's my spiel. I don't know. Join us on Discord and Patreon, I guess, because there's going to be our Promised Neverland chat channel. I probably won't have content about Promised Neverland and Attack on Titan and ReZero freaking 3 animes. I'm not gonna have content about them every single week, but I will be chatting with the patrons in our Discord channel about it. So if you want to know my thoughts, as well as other people in the community's thoughts, and chat with us every week about it, then consider becoming a patron. But I especially want to know, what did you think of this first episode if you watched it? And if you haven't watched it yet, then check it out. Go watch Promised Neverland, because I have a feeling this is literally just the beginning of something that might have as great world building as freaking even Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really have the feeling that we are on the tip of something that could be goddamn legendary. That's the video.